together on the California executive branch government. This is true, false, and there. Question one is there are 9 constitutional offices. True. They are the governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, superintendent of public instruction, insurance commissioner, attorney, board of equalization. Question two, California is a union like the federal government. That's false. We have a unitary level. The president and vice president are elected on the same ticket. The executive branch are appointed by the president. On the other hand, California executive, because there are multiple elected statewide members, executive branch. Question three, the governor is required to make a state of the state legislature. That's false. The governor is only required to provide each year on the condition of the state. The governor may fill any vacancy in any office by appointment. Successor qualifies. That's false. Now that rule applies to all offices, but not to legislative offices for which the governor is special election. Question 5. When the governor authority, the governor must attach a statement of the item as well as the reasons for that blue pencil action. The Constitution in Article 5 says the governor a statement of the items reduced or eliminated with the reasons for the. Question 6. The governor can call a fiscal emergency separate from any other special session. And that's issue a proclamation in order to declare a fiscal emergency legislature to assemble in special session for this particular purpose. 7. The governor is required to submit proposed legislation emergency when the governor calls a fiscal emergency special. True, that is one of the requirements for the fiscal emergency special session. Question 8, the January 10th deadline for the proposed budget is a statutory requirement found in code. That's actually false. That is in the Constitution. 9, only the chairperson of the Assembly Committee on the Budget is governor's proposed budget. That's false. The state requires the budget bill to be introduced immediately in each house committees that consider the budget, which means, of course, the Senate Budget Committee chair and the Assembly Budget Committee chair must introduce the government, even if they're of different parties or they disagree with the governor's budget. 10. For a vacancy in one of the other 8 constitutional offices, a person to fill the vacancy, and that person must be confirmed by a California State Senate. That's actually false. The person the vacancy of a statewide office takes office upon conference by a majority of the members of the Senate and a majority of the members of the Assembly. If the houses do not act on that nomination. Question 11. Assign and reorganize functions among all of the executive branch. This is false. In a governor called a GRP, this authority does not apply to officers and agencies that are administered by those other elected. Question 12. The governor has authority to grant a reprieve after sentence for any type of state offense. True, except false for one instance, and that is this cases of impeachment. Question third, the governor may not grant a pardon or commutation to convicted of a felony except on recommendation of 4 substances. And that's true. This is a requirement found in the California Constitution. In question 14, the lieutenant governor qualifications of the governor and to serve as the That's true. These are both requirements found in Article 5 California Constitution. Question 15. The governor only serves as acting governor during the governor's absence from the state. That's false. A little governor acts as governor also during an impeachment, absence for a disability of the governor, or for a governor to take office. Question 16. The order of lieutenant governor for succession to the office of governor and for the temporary functions is set forth in the state constitution. That's precedence is actually set forth in a state statute, the legislature. As the chief executive, the enforcement of the state, law enforcement officer of the state, and the Attorney General has that direct. Actually, it's the attorney is the chief law officer of the state of California. Question 18, the governor and the attorney general have direct district attorney and sheriff elected in the state. That the attorney general has that direct supervision role by section 13 of the Constitution. Question are prohibited from accepting any honorarium, and that's in Article 5, Section 14. And finally, question the revolving door prohibition applicable to the executive branch applies equally to officers, agency secretaries, and department directors, and that's true. Has been in effect since 1991.